Back in 1925, Sir Henry Royce introduced the Rolls-Royce Phantom, which at the time was described as the best car in the world. Depending on what you want from an automobile, the same words could easily describe the new Phantom 8, and that's with Roman numerals, thank you very much. Most people will go through life never riding in one, or quite frankly, ever seeing one in person.
This is not a refresh. Phantom now rides on an all-new platform called the Architecture of Luxury. Let's try that again. The Architecture of Luxury. More appropriate. It also underpins the upcoming Cullinan.
That's its new SUV, or as Rolls-Royce references it, a high-bodied car. The Architecture of Luxury is an aluminum space frame that is 30% more rigid than the outgoing platform.
It is lighter, however, what we have done is not really change the overall weight of the actual vehicle. What we did is we took that weight savings and put it back in as soundproofing materials.
At a BMW press event, remember that this British crown jewel is owned by the German company. I got a short time with the new Phantom, though no, I did not drive it on the track. A few things you won't find in a Camry. Standard kit includes a Starlight headliner. The constellations can be customized to the date and place of your birth, or when you made your first $1 billion. There's the built-in umbrella, a fan favorite in London or Seattle. New is the gallery, a span of glass running the length of the dashboard. Original artwork, like this Cascade steel sculpture, can be placed behind it. A perfect spot for that tiny Rothko you just can't leave behind. Also standard, under the runway-length hood is a twin-turbocharged engine to move nearly 3 tons of indulgence. It's a V12. Of course it is, providing 563 horsepower, 664 pound-feet of torque, and the voice of authority. Here is where you select the 8-speed transmission. In my brief time, I kept hitting the windshield wipers instead. Gear shifts get an assist from the sky.
Satellite-aided transmission is basically where the vehicle uses satellites to read the road ahead and then select the proper gear based on the upcoming roads, whether that's corners, hills, and or whatever may be coming up.
Now, once the doors close, they're motorized, of course, it's as quiet as a crypt in here.
The V12 really cuts the mustard. I'll estimate 0 to 60 miles an hour. Hustles up in about 5 seconds.
It feels like the thrust of a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. Majestic is about the only word to describe it.
A new self-leveling air suspension and electrically controlled shock absorbers make millions of calculations per second to smother harshness. Another system adds cameras to read the road ahead proactively rather than reactively.
Ride quality? Creamy as creamy can be. This thing is going to spoil me.
The word to describe Rolls-Royce is effortless.
While owners tend to drive a Wraith or Ghost, they're often driven in a Phantom. When the boss does take the wheel, they'll find the light, precise steering is, well, effortless. The electronics tame the gravity of 7 suns when this Leviathan bends hard into a turn, but comfort is the mission here, and it is accomplished. Obviously, the wheel hubs don't rotate, but what you can't see is a foam layer inside the tires that cuts noise by 9 decibels.
Phantom would be even quieter, but the rear air conditioning is on and I can't figure out how to turn it off. It's a very complicated car.
Used to be at 60 miles an hour, this made the loudest noise in a Phantom, but it's silent too. Rolls has suggested it's considering an electric drivetrain, which would be perfect for this brand. FYI, the EPA rates Phantom's efficiency at an average of 14 miles per gallon on specified premium gas.
Fuel economy? You're worried about fuel economy in a roller?
Not that anyone will try to steal the spirit of ecstasy while in motion, but rest assured it will be safe while parked. This is a showstopper, as you might imagine.
Okay, one gripe I do have because of the Starlight headliner, you can't get a sunroof in a Phantom. Poor, poor me.
And that might be the only thing not available for now, since for a price, the good people at Goodwood will do nearly anything to satisfy a client. In fact, all Phantoms are bespoke, so buyers will choose between some 50 leather options, 30 variations of wood, and a library of 44,000 paint colors. And then there's the need to choose the length, width, and color of the stitching, which, as you can see, is perfect. Many cars use piano black trim. Here, it looks right off of Elton John's Steinway. We're talking wool carpet and sheepskin floor mats that could coddle a newborn. I've run out of superlatives to describe the action of the switchgear and hardware. It's silky and lovely. The only thing vaguely familiar from the BMW parts bin is the user interface operation, and it gets beautiful graphics to match the opulence.
Now, if you don't have enough legroom, there is an extended wheelbase version. This is very comfortable. I could stay here all day. No, really, I could stay here all day.
There are footrests, a fridge, and decanter for your Chateau Lafite Rochelle Pauillac. I hear 2010 is a good year, by the way. Phantom is a traditional car with all the high-tech features any entrepreneur could want. Of course, the seats recline and massage, and there are sunshades to block out the paparazzi.
No, I'm not going to do the TP trunk test. For one thing, Rolls-Royce owners have people to take care of things like that.
The carpet back here is better than what you'd find in most luxury car cabins. Eyeballing it, I'd say the boot handles 6 suitcases, which should be enough when heading off to the private airport on the way to Switzerland to meet with the bankers. So, if you've been searching the couch cushions while watching this to come up with the necessary funds, better have a large sofa. Building the best car in the world isn't cheap. A base Phantom 8 starts at $450,000. This one ends its optionless journey at $561,000. Who buys a car like this?
Who buys a Rolls-Royce is a great question. Actually, there is no one simple answer for that. To be honest, our customers come from all walks of life, all different industries. One thing that we do tend to find with all of our customers is that they are entrepreneurs and they are interested in building brands and, being successful.
Phantom is a blank canvas, so adding a Takashi Murakami to the gallery, or silver, gold, or diamond flecks to the paint can send it up towards the $1 million mark. But hey, it's only money, and you can't take it with you. If you have the means, before becoming a ghost, might as well enjoy a Phantom. How quiet is the Phantom? Well, it uses double-skin alloy in the floor and bulkhead. Foam and felt are sandwiched between those layers, providing incredible sound isolation. Elizabeth, the Rolls-Royce agent I interviewed, was driving so I could get running footage. Okay. And even though I shouted as loud as I could to get her to launch the car, okay, she literally couldn't hear me. If you heard tires squealing in the background, it's because, again, I was at a BMW event where people were driving the doors off M5s and such. I would have loved to have shown you more details, but I only had a short time with the car. As you might imagine, it was in demand with other riders. A brief jaunt is better than none at all.
There you go, that's my look at the all-new Rolls-Royce Phantom. Now, I'm sure a few of you are saying, Voelk, you could have gotten dressed up for the Rolls-Royce, but I'm at a BMW event where we're driving a lot of cars, and I had to do a story about this and the BMW X2, so I had to kind of go in between. If it makes you feel any better, just consider this a $500 sweater, okay? Even though it's Banana Republic. Feel better? I do. That's Driven. I'm Tom Voelk.